Randos, welcome back to Fandom at Random. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, hanging in there, just making it through this shit world as usual.
Man, speaking of shit, we have been like in the shit lately. What's
Dude.
going on, man?
Fandom fatality, women's rights.
It's been rough. It's been a rough
Seriously.
couple weeks, man.
It has, between health, the world, everything else. It's like shit piled on top of shit, piled on top of shit. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm slacking here because today, Randos, we're actually remote at random. So if you're listening to just the audio version, again, go to fandomatrandom.com if you actually want to watch us. But you're only getting half the experience. Gotta hop on. It's good shit.
Absolutely.
I'm just pulling up our some of my show doc notes here, which I have now. But I mean, obviously, we've been down and out for the past couple weeks, Randos. We apologize for that. I got my second bout of COVID, so it hit my family pretty hard. Brian's been under the weather, so we apologize. We're going to try to get back into this shit, rolling with a regular rotation in the near and hopefully forever future.
Yes. Yeah, because I don't know how many hits each of us can take, any more hits we could take. So better be getting going in the future.
Oh, yeah. But we are excited to have you back. We're excited to be back. And we have a great episode for you today. We are going to be talking about the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase that aired a couple weeks back now. We wanted to cover this as soon as it came out, but again, we were both dying. Luckily, we're better now.
Yeah, the fates somewhat had something else in store.
But this was essentially the E3 for Xbox and Bethesda. So we're excited to talk about it. We're going to go through some of the game announcements and other things that were covered at this little showcase. So that's awesome. Before we get into anything else, we do have another fandom fatality, unfortunately, that we need to cover. This was one I added that I was pretty bummed out, but Billy Kametz. So he is a voice actor, and he is best known as the voice of Naofumi from Rising of the Shield Hero Season 1, one of the more popular isekai animated to drop in the last decade, and super talented. He had a ton of terrific roles. I mean, dude, dead at the age of 35 from colon cancer.
That's insane, dude. Like, I'm always telling people, get your oil checked.
Yeah.
But at 35, they recommended it like 40 something. So that's
usually
crazy.
Usually it's 40. And I mean, they're inching that shit up now, little by little.
All the red meat.
It sucks, man. It's a big loss. And I mean, he was quasi, this is a New England based podcast. He was born and raised in Pennsylvania. He was borderline in our backyard, and it's a big loss.
It's a damn
terrific voice actor. He will be missed. His understudy has taken over in Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2. He's doing an okay job so far, but it's not the same. And yeah, rest in peace, dude. Sucks.
Yeah. Too bad.
All right, so let's get into our random recap, Brian. What do you say?
Let's do it.
So, random recap of the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase of 2022. And thank you. Brian's again, if you're just listening, you're not getting the full experience. Fandomatrandom.com if you want to watch this shit, because Brian's got all the announcements right on here. Compliments of Polygon. We're actually going to go right down and talk about everything. But I mean, before we even get into this, Brian, so at this point, is the E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, is it dead?
If it's not yet, it is on its way. Absolutely, 100% for sure.
Because they canceled it once again this year, and Sony's been out for a couple years now of E3 anyway.
Yeah.
Nintendo kind of does their own, like their Treehouse Showcase thing, which they would still do at E3, but it was still kind of like separate. Really, the only
Right.
company that was taking advantage of E3 was Microsoft, and now that they're coming out with their own showcase and they can focus on their own event, I mean, the way the internet is now and the way streaming is and everybody can watch everything, and with social media, you can market everything instantly.
Right.
Why would these companies even bother lumping themselves into E3 and sharing the spotlight when they can have it all by themselves?
I'm sure. Yeah. How easy it is to market and display your own showcase over digital means is so easy nowadays, and I'm sure much cheaper than trying to do an E3 type thing. That it's a no-brainer. Everyone's going to do their own thing, and everyone can watch when they want to watch, how they want to watch. Yeah, I think E3 is over. I think either they have to find some way to evolve, which I don't see how that is possible, or just kind of fade out and make a few other deals with people.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. They said they want to come back next year. Never
Yeah.
mind. Jeff Keighley has his own show now around June, so E3 has a shit ton of competition now. And if the big three players, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo,
Right.
aren't coming up and making their announcements, then they're dead, in my
Exactly.
opinion.
Yeah. It's a state of the world, everything's going more digital, and people are figuring out they can save money and do their own thing and cater it exactly how they want to the people.
All right, let's get off to this showcase. So
Let's get off. I'm always
we're-
about getting off.
yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So a quick precursor to this showcase. I thought it was interesting that right before this started off, they made a pretty unique announcement that everything that you see is going to release within 1 year of the showcase.
Yeah.
They said they were not going to show anything that was not releasing past 1 year, which
Mhm.
that already is a huge difference from what we're used to in E3, with
Yep.
getting some of those like teaser and cinematic trailers of games that potentially could be 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 years out.
Right.
This is all Xbox was like, F that. We want to show gameplay of all of these videos that are all of these video games that will be coming out within the next year, and they succeeded with that. But at the same time,
Mm.
when you have everybody loves hype,
Right.
and I think a little bit of that was lost in this showcase, only showing stuff that's coming out in the next year because everything was kind of expected. There
Yeah.
weren't any like bombshell announcements. A lot of people were hoping, like, are we gonna see like Fable gameplay? Are we gonna see this? Are we gonna see that? And no, because it's everything was like a year out snapshot. Boom, that's all
Yeah.
you're getting.
And it's like, I understand what they were going for. A lot of these E3 showcases and PlayStation, a common complaint is, oh, great, games will get in 4 years, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, like you said, the hype monster kind of hides itself because we're not getting new announcements or hyped announcements, just stuff that's been on the horizon and that we know about.
Yeah,
So it was okay. And I don't know, do you think most of these things are going to come to Game Pass or no?
majority of them are.
No, just
So,
kidding. It's literally like
oh
a
yeah,
full-time promotion for Game Pass. One thing that bothered me, just to get it out of the way, everything revolved around,
exclusively day one on
dude,
Game Pass.
big font. Like it's like me putting a sign right here that says just Game Pass,
Well, I feel like every time they do that, they're looking at Sony and Microsoft and like PC or Steam, and they're like,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a better deal than anything that's out there, and I love it to pieces. So I'd be rubbing it in their faces too, but it was just like very in your face.
all right, speaking about in your face, let's get into the games.
Yeah.
Let's get into the games because that's what the focus was of this event.
What we're
So
here
they kicked it
for.
off. They kicked it off with Redfall
Yep.
from Arcane Austin, and this is the co-op world horror game set in Massachusetts. So it's pretty much vampire survival co-op, and I think it looks actually a lot better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. I'm not big for like the Left 4 Dead style games that it's like you have to play it co-op.
Yeah.
Arcane already came out and said that they are focusing on if you want to play this single player, if you want to play it, co-op, either way, it's going to play extremely well. And it's like open world, dropped in Massachusetts, quasi horror, and I think the gameplay looks solid.
It does. Yeah. If you say horror game in Massachusetts in the same sentence, I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
to be
that's
on
you.
board.
That's all you.
In that way, this kind of disappointed me because it doesn't look very horror to me at all. Even the vampires are like sexy kind of Twilight. Hopefully they have different iterations of monsters and stuff, but you're right. The gameplay and the atmosphere and what they're saying about it is definitely intriguing. So it's something I would absolutely check out.
And they're touting, they've got some pretty unique characters with
Mhm.
very different skill sets and abilities. So I'm excited about it. I think it upticked my interest in the game where I didn't have a ton before. And like you said, the fact that it's in Massachusetts is also pretty cool. So
Right.
I'll
Yeah.
definitely check it out.
Redfall, Massachusetts. I wonder if it's going to be like Salem, just renamed.
Perhaps.
But
So
yeah,
that's
it
gonna
looks cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's launching in 2023.
Yeah.
And then Hollow Knight Silk Song, finally, people have been asking, when is this game going to get announced? When is it going to come out? We now know it is coming out. It's coming out day one on Game Pass. A release date has not been announced, which leads me to believe it's still going to come out in 2023. I'll be honest, and I may piss off some of you listeners and viewers, I was not a big Hollow Knight fan. The
I
original game just did not draw me in. I played a decent amount of it.
yeah.
I
Well,
understand, and
you
especially too, I'm a From Software guy. I like hard games. I don't know. I just wasn't crazy about the original game.
so you did more than me and actually played it. This never appealed to me from what I saw, and I guess eventually I'll try it, but just based on the gameplay alone, I wasn't about it too much. So this announcement I knew needed to happen because there's a big fan base for Hollow Knight. Just for me personally, it's just okay.
And I may go back. Like I only played the original for maybe 2 to 3 hours. I'll probably give it a second chance, especially considering it's on Game Pass. I can hop on and play it again. I'll probably make a point to do that this year, and maybe I'll reinvigorate my love for the game. But
And
it's cool. It's coming out Game Pass day one.
Yeah. And that reminds me, I have a big announcement to make. I have officially finished a From Software game, ladies and gentlemen. I
I'm
am
proud of you, Brian.
I'm proud. After 230 grueling hours, I finished Elden Ring, and I am starting New Game Plus because I'm ready to put another 230 hours in. I've never played a game like this before, and I want to keep playing. Yeah,
it's incredible.
So I just thought everyone should know that it's my first From Software game.
I was actually quasi hoping for a FromSoft announcement during this with the DLC.
That'd be nice.
But they're so tight with Sony that if anybody's going to get that announcement, it's going to be Sony.
Right. Absolutely.
This next game we got to spend a minute on. So this dude, I'm a big Rick and Morty fan.
I know you are. And I haven't saw it, but from what I've seen from Rick and Morty, I like it. I've seen 2 episodes, I think.
You got to check it out, man. It's great.
I know I do, but this game, holy shit. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because I may be very hard on the fence on this one.
So, I mean, this game immediately looks like it plays like an acid trip, which I mean, it's kind of Rick and Morty incarnate anyway.
Yeah,
but it's great. You have Justin Roiland. Pretty much you play. It's quasi. It looks like a first person shooter, but it's almost a little bit like not. I want to say not No Man. The Outer
Wilds. The Outer Wilds.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the vibe I got it from.
A little bit of that vibe. Very comedic, weird aliens, but all of the guns have like their own personas and they're all voice acted.
Which this is where I'm on the fence, right? Because it's interesting to give the weapons a personality of their own, right? But at the same time, if I'm playing a shooter, a first person shooter, I don't know if I want my guns talking to me the whole time.
So they've already kind of said that I think the guns, like the whole talking, it's going to be a bit more scripted. So I think they're going to do that at like certain points in the game, like when you hit either checkpoints or intros. I don't think they're going to talk all that much while
Yeah.
combat and exploration, other things are going on. And I think they may even have a checkbox. You can shut that option off.
Mhm.
But if it's Justin Roiland, I mean, it's literally his Morty voice on the
Yeah.
main gun. And I was like, oh shit, like
It'll
I
be it'll be a seller for sure,
yeah.
and,
I'm interested. The fact that it's also coming to Game Pass, I'm gonna check it out, no question.
yeah, because the guy is smart. He made a great cartoon, and I have no doubt that the fan base for this will be huge. For people like me who haven't seen it, I'm one of the 12 people who haven't seen Rick and Morty, so it might be a harder sell, but I am excited to see where it goes.
I may have been preemptive on that too. That might not be coming to Game Pass. I gotta vet that.
Um, yeah,
That's fine though. We can check that out after.
yeah.
So,
Yep,
Play it day one,
with
Game
Game
Pass,
Pass. I
beautiful,
was
right
gonna
there.
say, we know they advertise it on every video.
Yeah, so I 100% will be getting that day one.
Yes, sir.
Uh something I won't be doing day one. So, Riot Games are
Playing League
now
of
on
Legends?
Xbox Game Pass, so on the PC and mobile versions. So you have again, it's League of Legends. All of
Valorant.
all the champions are unlocked. They've got Legends of Runeterra. So Valorant,
I've
a bunch of the Epic, I'm sorry, Riot Games shit
yeah.
is coming to Game Pass, and I'm sorry, I'm not a huge like fan of League. League is just so toxic. I've tried
If
so many times getting
yeah,
into it.
if I wanted to hear how many different ways my mother could be fucked from behind, I would play League of Legends more, but I just don't. So
And
I'm
ironically,
good.
like, I knew the lore a little bit, but then Arcane came out on Netflix,
Yeah,
and it was the best thing I saw like last year. I
right.
I loved Arcane. So I mean, if they can do more shit like that, that's great. This didn't interest me that much.
No, I don't blame you.
And I mean, if you're a Riot Game fan, you must be excited. But other than that, we can move on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Please do.
Plague Tale Requiem. I played the original one a bit,
Yeah, I
and
have
it's
it.
cool. It's cool. It's dark. You have that brother and sister dynamic.
It does look cool, and I'm surprised. I've heard of it, and I've heard people talk about it, but I've never actually watched gameplay or video from it.
It's
It does
almost like scripted survival horror.
right. It looks kind of cool, like something I could get into, so I might have to check it out.
Actually, I mean, I think knowing like the stuff that you're into, you
Hmm.
actually probably would appreciate this style of game more than I do,
Yeah.
because it does dip into that like gross, like sickening horror
Hmm.
and kind of weird like shit. Um, do you ever play Alan Wake? I
Not
think we
yet,
talked about this. You haven't,
but
right?
I've played like Until Dawn and Man of Median,
Okay.
which are really scripted QTE event type horror games, and I
And
love them.
that's what you're getting with this.
Yeah,
And it looks like they expanded on the gameplay a bit more in the second one. So there's stealth elements,
it
but
looks cool. Yeah,
I think it could be cool. So
yeah.
it's Game Pass day one. So
It's something
check it
that
out at least.
right, exactly. It's something that caught my eye. And the one thing about Game Pass, dude, is I can try these games at no loss to me. So,
Yep.
and of course, we have,
Forza Motorsport.
one of the three legs of the tripod for Xbox. Who doesn't expect a Forza Motorsport announcement at an Xbox event, right?
Yeah, and I'm much more a Forza Horizon fan. Like
Mhm.
I know you're much more of a car guy than me.
Yeah,
You know,
but even still, I'm not a motorsport fan. I still, when it comes to video games, enjoy a more arcadey feel than a simulation feel.
Yeah, and graphically, I mean, it looks impressive.
Of course,
And
yeah.
if you're a car person, maybe this appeals to you a lot more,
Yeah.
and it's cool. I do think that Xbox having the Forza license and being so invested in it, I mean, if you're a racing enthusiast, I think the Xbox is the system for you because I think
Yeah.
Forza is second to none.
Right.
You know, I know
I
Sony
think
Sony has what is it, Gran Turismo?
Gran Turismo, and they've been stepping their game up. But honestly, if you're talking about like legitimate racers, Forza is unbeaten right now. They can't be toppled. You know.
Yeah, and we'll get
But
to Forza Horizon news in a minute.
yeah,
But
so
let's talk
another
about
Forza game, and
so
then
Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is a super fun game.
fucking mute that.
I mean, you can hop in there and I
Dude,
mean,
all I ever think about when I see these games, right, is that video where a kid's doing the flight simulator and he goes, "Oh, the hawk, bud," and
oh
fucking
no.
flies the jet
Yeah.
into another one.
Oh, it's so
It
terrible.
cracks me up every fucking time. It's terrible, but it's funny, and it does seem cool. I don't see the point if you have a controller. Like, unless you have a fucking half a plane built in your
Oh,
living room,
sure.
I don't know how this is as much fun.
Yeah, and I mean, with a controller, like you said, you can have some fun, but I mean, this is a full-on simulator type of game. I mean, they
Yeah,
make the argument that if you play this game the right way,
yeah,
you can hop in that plane and you can fly that plane,
absolutely.
which is crazy.
I thought I
But
heard a rumor that the technology they used for it was used for training actual pilots, but that could be bullshit. So,
maybe. But the whole announcement with this was it's the franchise's 40th anniversary. There's new airplanes, other things they're adding, and then apparently we get Halo
yeah.
now coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So the Pelican is coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the disgusting part about this, so Halo is Microsoft's baby. That
Yes.
is their when you think Nintendo, it's Mario. When you think Sony, I mean, I guess there are arguments to be made about who the Sony mascot could be, but when you think Microsoft, it's Master Chief.
Yes.
This was the only Halo announcement we got in this entire thing, and
Right.
this was their like E3 event.
I didn't even think about that because if we both loved Halo Infinite multiplayer, right? At least for a little bit until we
Yeah,
realized that we weren't getting shit from that game that didn't come out release day.
yeah,
And
3 4
and
go
they
ahead, go ahead.
no, yeah, they have released some stuff, but I was hoping for a big announcement of like very good, very bloated DLC that they were going to be coming out with.
Yeah, 343 Studios is an embarrassment. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Infinite had don't get me wrong, it had some really good qualities even with the multiplayer,
Right.
but the game launched in an alpha status, and they're still trying to add things to get the game up to where it should be. And if you're following the Master Chief Collection, it's going to take them probably a couple years before they get it to that point, which I'm sorry, that's not that's not fair. Like it if you're paying if you're paying for a game, you should get the pretty much the finished product of the game. Shouldn't take you years to finish it. And the fact that this is the only Halo news we got during this conference is an embarrassment. Like we should have gotten something big from 343 just to kind of say, "Hey, you know, we know Forge mode is coming. We know co-op mode in the campaign is coming." Let's talk about Overwatch 2. So, again, Microsoft at this point, they've all but acquired Blizzard, Activision Blizzard. And Overwatch 2 is one of the most hyped games that people have been waiting on forever to come out. I dabbled in the original Overwatch. I enjoyed it, but again, it's it's hyper competitive. Very much in the vein of like League of Legends, like you got to know all the characters when you go into a game. Like people get pissed if you play the wrong character, if you're playing the wrong character incorrect, or the right character if you're playing them incorrectly. So for me personally, I wasn't too hyped, but I have friends that are big Overwatch players that are waiting for this game. So it's exciting. Early access comes out October 4th. We'll have to see what happens. It's going to be free to play when it launches, which is cool. So that's neat. So we got Aura History Untold. So this game, and I'm looking here. Yeah, so Aura History Untold. So this is going to be a real-time strategy game. It looks a little bit like Civilization. I'm not a big RTS guy, but I have a lot of friends that are, and it's kind of cool to see an original real-time strategy game come out and not another, Civilization or SimCity, something along those lines. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I watched the trailer. The trailer seemed neat, but again, not really my cup of tea. Speaking of something that's also not my cup of tea, The Elder Scrolls Online. High Isles, so they're coming out with more content for The Elder Scrolls Online. I've played The Elder Scrolls Online. I was a huge fan of The Elder Scrolls Skyrim. They tried to take that concept and make it an MMO. In my opinion, I don't know. I think they failed. I think the game it's just not, I just thought it was boring. I didn't think it transposed very well to an MMO. High Isle, I mean, maybe they can improve on that, hoping they can. But to me, World of Warcraft still holds that MMO like god tier status. You had a couple competitors that I thought came close. Guild Wars 2 back in the day I thought was excellent. Um Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, also excellent. But Elder Scrolls Online, meh, not really feeling it. And then in the same vein, Fallout 76. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but nobody cares about it. Hey, is he back?
I'm back. Did you carry on this? You were able to carry on without me?
I was, man. It's still recording. I was carrying on.
Carry on the wayward son, my friend.
I
Yeah,
did my best,
apparently
friend.
my PC wanted to shit the bed. Sorry, guys. That's never happened before, so that's new. It just
Dude, it's
it's
par for the course of everything that's going on, man.
it really fucking is, right? um
Ryan's computer has COVID. So
Apparently, yeah.
if you get back into that browser and share the
Yes.
screen again, you can hop right down to Fallout 76.
Fallout 76. All right.
And I'll keep talking about it while you find it.
Yeah.
So the Fallout 76, and at this point, I'm sorry, I just mentioned the Elder Scrolls Online, which at this point people have moved on. I feel like most people have moved on from Fallout 76. I don't care. The game launched, it was buggy as shit, and when you have an MMO, you got to strike while the iron's hot. I can't even see. I doubt many people are even playing this game anymore. At least in my circle of gamers, and I talked to quite a few gamers. No one even mentions Fallout 76. So
No, no, not I was surprised they even mentioned anything
at
about
this
it, to be
point, they
honest.
need to move on from that shit. Stick to the mainline, actual single player Fallout games. That's what we want.
Yes.
I don't want Fallout MMO status, in my
It
opinion.
No, then it's not going to be saved. It's kind of fallen to the background. So, yeah, I don't know what you said about it already, but I'm sure you covered anything that needed to be.
So Forza Horizon 5, which again, unbelievable game, incredible. And the big announcement here is the Hot Wheels expansion, which I was surprised because Hot Wheels released their own game within
Mhm.
the last year, which is actually very, very good. And the name
Hmm.
escapes me. It's Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Oh
about it, to be
shit!
honest.
It's excellent. It's actually very, very good.
Hot Wheels, the wheels are hot.
The wheels are hot. That's what it's called. Hot Wheels. The wheels are hot. The
I
hotness
mean,
times
is
two.
it as graphically capable as this one right here?
It's not, but it's very good. And I understand, like, Forza in the original one, they also are Horizon 4. They got the Lego expansion. which was hugely popular. Now they're getting the Hot Wheels expansion, which I'm gonna get it. You
Yeah.
know, I have got a 6-year-old. He's gonna go nuts when he sees this. So,
Right.
everyone's gonna get it. I think that's enough said on that.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. I'd check it out because I have Forza Horizon 5 downloaded, so definitely be there.
Arc 2.
I still don't know anything about this game, and I don't think I want to.
You really don't. I mean, I thought the first one was like okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
I
you
know
got
my
that.
little cousin plays it a lot, but isn't this one of those games where you can get like raided and fucked while you're offline too?
Yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna, if they're gonna adjust that in the second one, but I mean, the whole like trailer of Arc 2 when they released it all focused on, guess what, guys? We got Vin Diesel.
Oh, that's
Like Vin
right.
Diesel's the main character.
Yeah,
And it's like, no one cares, man.
dude, no. Vin Diesel became irrelevant in like Fast 3. So, yeah, it was a move for sure, and he's definitely not that cut anymore, so we all know that.
Yeah,
um
I'm
it's yeah,
I'm I'm not that hyped about it. I mean,
yeah.
there could be some Arc fans out there or are, let us know in the comments, but
I'm sure there
I
are.
I wasn't too excited. This game though,
Yes, this one.
holy shit.
This looks intriguing. I don't
So,
know what really to say about it. It's everything I want in a trailer.
dude, this looks like, and we're talking about Scorn right now, by the way,
Scorn, yes.
by Ebb Software. Uh, this game looks creepy as
I
shit.
mean, it starts off with a monster dick. You don't get any better than that. It does, and it's giving me very realistic, like upside down vibes from Stranger Things.
Just like the environment, everything you do is just like so organic and like in
Hmm.
pain and like wet, disgusting. Like
Right.
I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I almost kind of get like Doom vibes,
I was gonna say
but
like a darker Doom.
yeah, I mean it really is.
It's it it's something I'm gonna check out for sure, just based on what we see. But they don't give up a lot either. They just give you some gameplay, barely any story at all. So they leave it up to your imagination for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be
I'll,
one to
I'll
look out on.
I'll check it out. I normally don't do scary shit, but I can
Hmm.
handle like gory shit. That's no problem. But
Well, something
th-
tells me this one will have a little bit of both.
this next game caught me by surprise. Flintlock Siege of Dawn.
Yeah,
So it kind of almost got some like God of War vibes.
I was gonna
Uh,
say this almost looks like their answer to a God of War game.
So very interesting. You play as this main protagonist who carries around mainly an axe, and then again the name is called Flintlock.
Yep,
So it's like a flintlock, like rifle pistol. Um, and then you've got
almost.
this like little like pet helper thingy that you can also like sick on them to do like certain abilities.
Yeah.
So it's a very unique mix with the combat, and very unique visuals.
I was
So
gonna
I
say my only gripe with it is the graphics look unfinished rather than an artwork decision.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that considering it's coming in 2023, so they
Yeah.
have a little bit of time to polish it up.
Hmm.
But I think the gameplay is kind of there. You can
Yeah,
see some Assassin's Creed influence in this as well, for sure.
definitely.
But it could be cool. And again, coming to Game Pass, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a game I play a lot on PlayStation, so I'll definitely check that out. Do we need to go over Minecraft or can we blow right past it?
Bro, I was gonna say one game I won't be checking out,
Yeah.
and this isn't even because like I'm a Minecraft fan. This game looks fucking terrible.
Like, okay, hold on.
Minecraft Legends.
Let's just
So
click through a
it's
few
a
of the
strategy
fucking
spin-off game.
yeah.
Like I don't know if people out there agree with me, disagree with me. I think it looks so goddamn bad. Like when it went into like the actual gameplay, I was like, this is a joke, right? It just looks it looks terrible. And most of it, like Brian scrolling through, it's a trail. Like that's the gameplay there.
Yeah. This is when, like you said, when I saw this, I was like, holy shit, this looks like a mobile game developed when mobile first came out.
Yeah, it looks like a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you, I like Minecraft survival mode, but this is not something I will ever have to check out, I don't think.
This was unique too. Lightyear Frontier, which
Yeah.
I had heard nothing about. So it's like a farming simulator slash crafting game, but it has like mechs in it and very unique aesthetics.
Yeah.
I was almost getting like almost kind of like Viva Pinata vibes.
That's a good analogy for sure.
But
Yeah, because it almost seems like they're trying to do a No Man's Sky thing, but like more animated, cartoon type feel.
it looks interesting. I mean, so again, it's on Game Pass, so I'll check
So
it out.
this kind of sums up my whole idea about this showcase, right? The slogan I would put is, "It looks interesting. I might check it out." you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that more in the end, so you can move on.
Right, yeah. So let's get past that.
So Gunfire Reborn, we don't have to spend too much time on this. I mean,
Yeah.
this again, same deal, looks neat, might be something I'll check out, coming to Game Pass, yada yada.
Yeah.
But the next game after this,
Is this Puss in Boots? Is Puss in Boots in there? This
now
one,
you had me at Puss and lost me at Boots.
I know.
But the
This
last
one,
case of Benedict Fox, this one looks cool.
this has me. I'm not big on side scrollers anymore unless I'm playing classic side scrollers. But you're right. This one has a lot of atmosphere in it, and it sounds really cool.
Yeah,
The last case of Benedict Fox.
yeah, a game about a detective and a demon, and it looks pretty badass. I actually
You think they got their inspiration from Good Omens?
maybe.
But it does look, yeah. I mean, like I said, the atmosphere, the lighting, everything looks really fucking unique and different.
But this is one I'll 100% when this comes out on Game Pass, I'll download it right
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. That makes sense. This one, on the other hand, I don't know what they keep showing this for.
Yeah, I don't really.
As Dusk Falls is a game about a family drama, I guess you could say.
A little bit. So it pretty much rotates around. You have like these people, they show up at this, whether it's like I think it's like a gas station slash hotel, and like something happens and like something traumatic, and then it like all of a sudden goes into the future, and it's very, you can see it's a super story driven game.
Yeah.
And
It's like you want to try to play a movie almost.
yeah, it's like a visual novel type game where you actually play it, which I know like there is a big fan base out there of those type of games.
Well, I was going to say,
this did not reel me in at all. I
no,
was like, no.
other
And
games,
they spent a lot of time focusing on this in this
they
this
did.
event.
I don't know why they're making it. Maybe it comes out and it's amazing, but from what I've seen so far, it makes no sense to me why they're banking on this game so much, because you have the Walking Dead Telltale games. Not only that, but Batman and Borderlands as well, that all did the same thing. And I'm sure they probably did it better than this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the type of vibe I'm getting, that they're trying to make a game like that, but it doesn't look like it's going to hit at all.
So Naraka Blade Point, we don't have to spend really much time on this at all.
Yeah.
I believe it was a mobile game that they've now ported to PC and
Mhm.
Xbox. So, you can go in, it's, combat, yada, yada, jump around, arena combat. So nothing too crazy to see there.
Ninja Gaiden ripoff, pretty much. With
We're gonna talk about the Ninja Gaiden ripoff in a little bit.
with little to nothing.
Pentiment. This is one we got to spend a minute on. For Obsidian Entertainment, huge studio. We've been waiting to see what they've been working on. this is what we got.
Yeah.
Um,
Are you satisfied? Are you not satisfied with what we got here?
not necessarily like not satisfied. It was just like, what is this? Like
Dude, I don't know what to think about this. I'm
the
so
artwork
baffled.
is extremely unique.
It's Bible. It's Bible from the fucking 10th century, you know?
Yeah, I d- I mean that's probably the best way to describe it. If you have not seen this game again, it's Pentiment. Go on YouTube, check it out. I mean, it looks. I don't even know. This is a game I'm just gonna have to try and play. And like, Obsidian's track record is so good that I'll
Yeah,
give them the benefit of the doubt that this is gonna be really, really good. But
it's interesting.
I a lot of people were like, "What are they working on?" And they got this, and they were pissed.
Right, because what's the last game they did? What was it? Dishonored?
They've done Dishonored, they did Pillars of the Earth,
And they definitely went a different direction.
Knights of the Old Republic.
One of the boss's sons got hired in the creative department
No,
was like,
Pillars of the Earth, Pillars of Eternity.
oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking of the board game.
And they're like, you know what we should do? I was reading the Bible the other day. No.
Yeah,
It's weird. It could turn out to be really great, but again, that's another one we're gonna have to wait and see.
yeah. Grounded, we don't need to spend any time on. That
No,
beta's been out literally forever. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
exactly,
That
and
sums it up.
it's coming to full game mode now, I guess, right?
Yep. Erebin Shadow Legacy looked actually pretty cool. Um, this game pretty much drops you in. There's a lot of stealth involved with hiding in shadows,
Yeah,
popping in and out, getting off enemy kills. You had mentioned Dishonored earlier, a little bit of that vibe,
right.
but
I'm not a big stealth guy, but this does look pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, it looks neat. I'll check it out.
Again, it's like, yeah, common theme we're gonna talk about at the end, but yeah, looks okay. And this is
Diablo 4 announcement.
this is
So
a big
this
one.
this this to me was arguably the biggest announcement of the show, and I'm not alone in thinking that.
No, yeah.
With talking to friends and actually reading from other people in the industry, the fact that they announced this, so the Necromancer is coming to Diablo 4, that is my character. Like I've
Right.
played the
Yeah.
Necromancer anytime I can in any of the Diablo games.
That's what I've thought about. The second I saw this, I was like, "Oh, Ed's gonna be pleased."
Love, 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 love the Necromancer character, but the fact that this was announced with crossplay, cross progression, and the fact that it was announced in this means Diablo 4 is coming out within the next year.
Well,
That was the biggest thing. And I know what you're going to say right now. I can
mm,
already read your mind
yeah,
because it's everything that was announced here is reportedly coming out in the next year.
yes,
There are going to be delays in a
of
lot of things that
course.
were announced here.
Yeah.
I fucking guarantee you that this game is going to be delayed.
The shit
Not
they've
even a
been
question.
going through, the studio has been going through, absolutely. If I had to bet on any one of these
Well,
many games on this list, this would
Microsoft will own them by next summer
that's true.
officially.
But I would absolutely bet money in my pocket on this game being delayed way past a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say way past, but I could see them if they were smart, they would do a fall release right before Halloween.
Yeah.
That's tying into the Diablo theme.
Yeah.
At least
I
that's what
so
I would do if I was
what
running the studio.
does it look like it's returning to maybe a little
Yes.
bit of a darker gothic type
Absolutely.
feel? Because that's what I
Absolutely.
got from it. Yeah.
It looks like they're taking a lot of what they learned from Diablo 3 gameplay wise,
Mhm.
but aesthetically taking Diablo 2, mashing it into 4. So I'm hoping that we get the best of both worlds. The aesthetics of Diablo 2 with the gameplay and the mechanics of Diablo 3,
Yeah.
with a couple other things that are polished up.
That's
If they can
exactly where I was thinking.
if they can make that work, it is going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Because that's what Diablo 3 was missing. It had good gameplay towards the end of its life, and everything was smoothed out, but it was missing that atmosphere and the dark, scary, feel of it. So you were thinking exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, if they can make it work, this could be one of the best Diablos yet.
Let's hope so. Sea of Thieves, you can skip right past it. Nobody gives
Yeah.
a shit about that
That
game.
is dead game.
Ravenlock,
Eh.
again, unique, kind of cutesy animation.
Yeah, a lot of these quirky type. Oh, look at this cute little game here.
Yeah, they call it out as an action-packed fairy tale. You almost
Mhm.
get a little bit of like Alice in Wonderland type vibes,
Yep. The Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland type thing.
a little bit. But we can skip right past this because I want to talk about this next game,
Yeah.
Cocoon.
This is a big
I
one for
am
you.
pumped. Like, I didn't even know this was coming. And I saw this announcement, and the second I saw, again, developed by the designers of
Yeah.
Limbo and Inside, I am all in on Cocoon.
I've played a little bit of Limbo, but haven't finished it and haven't played Inside. I know
Oh,
I need
man.
to. What I did play of Limbo, I did love. So
Game's
I
incredible.
support this.
And
Yes.
this looks very similar vein. It's going to be a full-on puzzle type of game. This looks a lot more
Like a vagina.
so
Oh, you're talking about the game in general. Oh,
yes.
sorry. Yeah.
So like Limbo and Inside were a lot more very like darker aesthetic.
Yeah.
This is much more like sci-fi-ish
Yeah.
with fantasy elements thrown in. So and it looks a lot less dark, a lot more vibrant. So I'm curious to see
Cool
what they can
particle
do with that,
effects.
and
Yeah.
if it and knowing this studio, at some point it's gonna get a lot darker and a lot more gruesome. But
Yeah.
Brian, man, do yourself a favor. If you have not beaten and played Limbo and Inside, make that an absolute priority to do it.
Absolutely.
Incredible
And
games.
this is coming in 2023. So, yeah, now would be the time now that I finally finished Elden Ring to dip into these backlogs,
Yep.
I have to check that out for sure.
So Wolong Fallen Dynasty is coming from Team Ninja.
Mhm.
So I mentioned earlier the newer Ninja Gaiden. We might
Yep.
get some of that with this game. Again, this is a lot more of a cinematic trailer, which I will say, I'll give Xbox credit. There weren't that many of those in
No,
this
there weren't.
showcase. There
Yep.
was a lot more gameplay. We didn't get a ton of that in this, but looks
No.
cool.
It does, yeah, it sets up a cool little um a little bit of hype. It's probably not if I'm
It's
being
tough, like
completely honest, I won't check it out, but
with the trailers they showed. I mean, it almost looks more Dynasty Warriors than it does
yeah.
Ninja Gaiden, but
Yep.
who the hell knows?
It's
But we don't.
something that'll fall off my radar, but I'm sure there's a fan base for this game.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Yep. This one, I know you's a big fan of.
Oh yes,
Yes,
I have
sir.
been waiting for this announcement. I love Atlas Games, love the Persona series.
Yeah.
Again, if you're an RPG, mainly if you're a JRPG fan, if you're an anime manga fan, you know what Persona is. It's one of the heavy hitters when it comes to just excellent, just JRPG games. And we are getting Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5 Royal. I'm pumped. I actually haven't played any of these. So I'm going
Oh
to
yeah.
go and I'm going to go and play all of them as
No
soon as they come
shit.
out.
So I decided these games weren't for me on Persona 4 Golden.
Yep.
Not because they're a bad game. It's just not my style. I couldn't get into it. It's a really long, heavy RPG game.
Oh yeah. It's very, very heavy on the role playing.
Yeah.
And again, I haven't played them, but I've watched on Twitch. I've watched playthroughs of almost all of these, and it's very story driven. It's kind of like playing an anime, honestly.
It is, yeah. And it goes very anime, if that makes any sense. So it kind of
Wow.
yeah, it just wasn't up my alley, but it's solid. If you're a fan of any type of those genres, you will love it. And anybody who didn't get to play them because they were PlayStation exclusive, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so now anyone who didn't get to play him can play him on Xbox. Xbox.
And then
Yeah, dude,
this
this
was the
was
most awkward like announcement
yeah.
of this whole showcase.
Check out
So
our friend here.
Hideo Kojima, out of nowhere, of Metal Gear Solid fame,
Like,
showed up, and again he left. Oh my god, why is my mind blanking? Metal Gear's developer.
um,
It'll come to me in a minute, but
yeah, it will, because I'm not a fan of Metal Gear, so
oh my god, they're amazing. Get
stealth
out of here.
games, not for me.
Get the fuck out of here. So,
This was weird because why not wait until you have a game to announce alongside him rather than just him?
and that was the weird part about it. So you had, Death Stranding, which is walking simulator
Mm, yeah, right.
2020, but it was more Microsoft kind of flexing like, hey, guess what? We've got
Mhm.
Hideo Kojima coming on to make a unique game for us. And then that was it. Like there was
Yeah.
nothing else. It was just like, he's working on a new game. Thumbs up. Okay,
Everyone's like
move
leaning
on.
in like, well, what do we get? What? Oh, really? That's all we
Not
got?
even like a
Like,
little bit of a teaser. Just
didn't even bust a nut. Nope.
he's just, I'm excited to work on this new game.
It was a flex. That's all it was, and it
It'd
came
probably be
off
Norman Reedus carrying a fetus around for miles.
Norman Reedus fetus.
Mhm.
It was
Norman Fetus.
Norman fetus. Yeah, it was weird. It's cool until we see a new game come, though. I don't understand why they did it.
All right, let's get into the Big Daddy.
The big daddy of them all.
So end of this trailer, or end of the show, I
Yeah,
should
I'm
say.
just gonna kind
We
of
get
skip to gameplay here.
we get Starfield, and this is the one that Microsoft was like, we bought Bethesda to
Yeah.
get this game, and is it going to live up to the hype? We finally got to see gameplay. Brian, what do you think about the gameplay and everything that was announced?
I think I'm excited for it, but I also think it looks like it needs some work. It it looks like what I expected. I don't know. Something about it just didn't get me that hyped, if that makes any sense.
Dude, and what was with Todd Howard's outfit?
Yeah,
He's got
right.
like the the
Okay,
crushed brown,
fucking
like
Bon Jovi.
yeah.
Like that's Bon Jovi on stage right now, you know.
I love that dude. Like he knows how to hype shit up, but I was like, what the
Right.
fuck?
But
But
yeah,
so
so the gameplay was good and it I mean, so here's the thing, right?
it's Skyrim in space,
It is. And
pretty much.
I haven't been able to get into the Fallout series yet because guns in a Skyrim type game doesn't feel right to me. I don't know why, but this gets me a little more excited because it looks like the gunplay is really good and it looks like it has a lot of potential, you know?
Yeah, and they added I'm optimistic and I'm nervous because Bethesda Bethesda lacks in a couple different areas. One of them being combat, and just orientation with your character with the world anyway. It's always
Yeah.
very floaty, very weird. And a lot of people now coming from a game like Elden Ring that's so tight combat, like oriented, so focused on it. And then you go into a Bethesda game. And another thing with Bethesda games are usually buggy as shit
Yes.
at launch, regardless of how much time or money they put into them. But the scope, like I can appreciate the grand scope of the game that they're going for. It
Yeah,
also makes me
right.
nervous with him saying that there's over 1,000 explorable planets
That's
that
what
are
I was
all
gonna bring up.
procedurally generated that you
Mhm.
can check out. And my thing is like, why couldn't you have made it like I'd even be happy with like 50 to 100 planets
Yeah.
that we could go to, but that were like fleshed out like
Because
with things because if it's procedurally generated, I'm guessing there's going to be like randomized things, and then there's going to
mhm.
be a couple hub planets we can go to that actually have shit on them that we can do.
Absolutely. And
a la No Man's Sky.
I was going to say No Man's Sky has done this. And I want to say I read an article the other day after it being out for what, 7 years, 8 years, probably. I think it was some crazy number, like 0.5% of the universe has been explored so far by all players. Some crazy shit like that. I'm making that up off the top of my head, but so 1,000 of these planets that are just random and probably going to look a lot alike doesn't seem like a good way to go. Like you said, rather than handcrafting 50 to 100 planets, that will still take up a lot of people's time, but you'll also get a lot of quality out of it at the same time.
Yeah, and the combat looks okay. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll have to see. I mean, this is,
it's really about how it handles and how
you
it
know,
feels, you know.
if we can, Randos, if we can like tell you one piece of advice again, do not pre-order
Mm-mm,
anything.
do not pre.
Absolutely anything. I
Nope.
don't care what the pre-order bonuses are. Do not pre-order this goddamn game. We've seen people get burned so many times recently in the past. You can look as recently as Cyberpunk. I mean, just don't do it.
As
But
much as I love Bethesda, they will have bugs and most likely game breaking bugs on some systems too. So just don't pre-order it. Just don't feed into that game. Um, Wait for it to become a good game, which I'm sure it will be, but you know, it's Bethesda.
but that about sums up the showcase. Again, it
Yes, sir.
was all gameplay that are all games that are coming out, they say within a year span.
Yep.
And we didn't get any like hype like, hey, this is coming out in a couple years. But all in all, I mean, what would you rate the showcase?
1 out of 10 trophies.
Damn.
I'd say. Oh no, that's not my rating.
You're
I'm
giving it 1 out
sorry.
of 10. I was
No,
like, God damn.
1 out of 10. No, 5 out of 10. Honestly, because it really didn't hype me up for a lot. And even the big name games, Diablo 4, Starfield, uh, even then I was just like, okay, cool, but nothing groundbreaking.
So I'll give them a 7 out of 10. I appreciated that they put forth the effort to only show games that are coming out within the next year with actual gameplay videos.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
I do agree that they needed some wow factor that they didn't have. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
it was a very run of the mill showcase, and it's cool they're getting quirky with all the indie games, but at the same time, they all kind of, again, like I said earlier in the show, it's got a very interesting but okay vibe.
Yep.
You know, maybe I'll check it out, maybe I won't.
But Randos, that about wraps things up. That is our random recap of the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you listening and hopefully watching again at fandom@random.com.
Yes,
But
sir.
we'll be back in the very near future with more random content of all the fandoms you guys love. We
Yes.
appreciate you sticking with us. And that's about it. Brian, signing off.
Until next time, guys.
Later.
Later.